start streaming when you just do it.
We are live.
We're live.
In theory.
In theory, yeah, hopefully so. We'll just check the.
Did that just zoom out?
Yeah, because
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm already a blind old man. I can barely see it as is.
Sorry. Well, I'm going to be on the watch page, and I must mute this, otherwise all our audio viewers will get double sounding. There we go. Right. Good evening, everybody. I'm TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 70 of the Ran Nerds podcast. We are, as you noticed, middlemeister shortage again.
Yeah.
He's been out being social and having a barbecue and having sausages and hot dogs and burgers and all sorts. But we're fine.
Bastards.
We're fine. It's okay. We don't want to eat sausages or burgers or anything here.
Yeah, we're
fine.
not bitter or anything.
No, we're not.
Bastard.
No.
Can I say that again?
Yeah, go on.
Bastard.
It's okay. We're having steaks later. He doesn't know.
Woo.
Yeah, and bacon.
Woo.
And maybe at the same time.
I was going like, what, steaks wrapped in bacon?
Yeah.
That'd be ace.
It's a mixed grill. What more could you possibly want?
Yes.
Yes. Good old mixed grill. So thank you for joining us. So, amazing news. Despite the fact that it's summer holidays, somehow, Skazz, what have you been doing?
I have been playing games. Or actually, game.
And how do you manage this amazing feat?
By locking myself in a cupboard. That one specifically, when the kids go to bed.
Cool, good.
That is it. That is the secret to how to be a parent and avoid responsibilities.
Is that the cupboard that no one knows about?
Yes.
But no told the viewers. What if your wife sees this?
No! I've been rumbled.
It's going to be like, Skazz, where are you?
That happens. Like, people actually walk through the house and don't realise. Where's he gone? And that's why we got the dog, so that the dog could find me.
Oh, right, yeah.
So now you know the story of the dog.
Do you notice people walking through the house and they're sort of shouting, do you sort of open the door and go, I'm in here, and just close it quickly?
I'm here!
Skazz, where are you? I'm in the lounge, I keep telling you.
Put that shit back, you thieving little toe rag! Oh, the house is haunted! Well, there's a trap under the stairs.
Well, what for Harry Potter?
Oh god, fuck Harry Potter. That is why we call it Potter's Cupboard, actually, because that's under the stairs.
This is the greatest reboot of Harry Potter ever. Instead of being, you're a hacker, Harry.
That's it. The only difference is between
Dumbledore, was it? Was it not Dumb? Was it? What's the big guy? Robbie Coltrane guy? Haggard. Haggard. Yeah. Instead of being like sort of like Big Bird, he's just like sort of a fat nerd.
like fucking 3 pairs of glasses.
It's very important, Hackett, you find yourself a decent laptop, Hackett. What sport do we play? We play Rocket League!
Yes! Which is the game that I've been playing. I say I've been playing, I put in probably a few hours. It's a Rocket League, for anyone that hasn't played it, it's an online kind of e-sporty football game with remote control cars.
Which have rockets in them.
Yes. And it's really kind of neat. It's like an arena football game with cars. The idea that you just zip around the pitch in your little remote control car. You can drive up the walls, drive along the ceiling, fly about with your little rocket boosters and stuff. And the object is obviously just to play football. It's Linux compatible, which is one of the reasons why I've been playing it recently. But DeWald picked it up, Stewie 3D on YouTube. And he said, well, we need to find some games that we can both play because you're a Linux scab. He didn't literally say that, but you know that's what he wanted to say.
That's what he was going to say.
Yeah, and then he knew who, he remembered, he just kind of stopped himself, reminded himself of who he was talking to, and was like, I better not say that, he will probably kill me, which I probably would have done.
Well, I can't blame you.
Yeah, with my Linux laptop.
Yeah.
Beat him to death with it. And,
it was old enough.
And then, so it was me, him, and one of his subscribers, and we basically played in a live stream. He'd never played it before. The majority of my experience, which was like 2 evenings, was on PlayStation 4. So it was the first time I properly played it on PC. And then his subscriber was like the first time that he'd properly played it either. Fucking hilarious, mate. We got absolutely destroyed. It was great. Like we went up against the South Korean schoolgirls Rocket League team. Just destroyed.
Is that an exaggeration, or was it actually the South Korean schoolgirls?
It was most likely. I mean, let's put it this way.
Most likely.
Let's put it this way.
You're reading between the lines on that one.
Let's put it this way, mate. They had to have been because they had more time on ball than we. That's it. Like Christ.
There's one reason why they can't have been, because you said you did okay against them. If they were South Koreans, you would have lost.
No, we got destroyed. We got first round. We got smashed 6-0, mate.
As we know, the South Koreans are best at any game out there. StarCraft, Dota, Rocket League,
Pong,
Connect 4, chess, hopscotch.
Yeah.
That one they do at Wimbledon every year. Badminton.
Oh, with the bats.
Yeah,
that one.
Do you know they play croquet at Wimbledon as well?
Do they?
Yeah. It's the lawn and tennis club, so they play croquet.
Ain't that like a potato thing, or am I thinking?
That's not croquet. Croquet is where you have the little hoops and you have a little mallet and you whack balls.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the little peg at the end of it?
Yeah. Have you ever played croquet?
No.
It's actually quite fun.
What's the one with the horse? Polo.
Yeah.
And that using the same kind of wacky stick, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit bigger. Horse polo is basically croquet but bigger,
with bigger sticks and horses.
Bigger balls. Yeah, horse balls.
There you go. Fucking just like right up behind when your opponent. Whack! Just give him a nice tap.
Foul!
Oh god! I was hitting the ball. Wrong kind of ball. Get him!
And it's considered bad sport to hit your opponent on the horse's ball. That's considered bad form.
In fairness, mate, just whack him in the head. Fucking dickhead! Right in the balls.
We can make it so much more fun, couldn't we? If we allowed swords in there, it'd be such more fun.
That'd be hilarious, mate. Seriously, like Witten rules Pyro.
Yeah. Swords, flamethrowers,
fucking burn out cars on the edge of the, is it a pitch?
Rocket horse.
That would be amazing. What's the current equivalent to that? Like getting a fistful of ginger and shoving it up a horse's. That's as close as a rocket powered horse.
I've always wondered if that actually ever works, because does it just work on horses?
I don't know.
Someone on the internet must have tried it themselves.
There's probably on the internet there are probably YouTube videos of people just fistful of ginger.
Is that going to be the new sort of cinnamon challenge? They people shoving a bit of ginger up their backside to see if they go faster. So they have to do like a racetrack first and time themselves. They shove a bit of ginger up there and they go round again and see if it works. It's very scientific. Scientific.
Is that like scientific certificate?
Yeah. Have a scientificate. That's where you go when you complete a university degree in biology.
Scientificate.
What's your real face? I've got to know a prize for shoving ginger up people's backsides. It works on horses. You want to know it works on other
humans? We needed to test it.
Oh, the Olympic Committee have to start testing for that, won't they?
What's his name? Bolt?
Usain Bolt?
Yeah.
You never see him with a pack of Vicky's ginger nuts in the same room at the same time.
We're going to have to check him for ginger stuffing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not... Yeah.
But... Yeah. Rocket League.
Anyway, Rocket League.
I don't really have much else to say about it. It's not really there isn't really a lot to... how can you really describe...
So is it actually like football? You have to score goals and...
You can play... the only game matches I play were 3-on-3 and 4-on-4. And literally the object is just to whack the ball in your opponent's goal. Okay. Flip your car about. It's all... do
you have like boosts and power-ups and stuff?
Well, you get boosts. I think there are other modes where you can use different power-ups and stuff, like spring-loaded boxing gloves and
what do you like? Collect these like randomly? No.
Every time you start you start like a, I don't know, for like the kickoff or whatever. You start with say 33% boost, and you use your boost obviously by pressing a button, and it just fucking sucks the tank dry in a second. Pick up tons of speed, but you run out really quick. The boost points are laid across the pitch, and if you pick up a standard one, you get like 15 points. If you pick up one with a ball on it, you get a full bar boost, like 100% boost. If you are boosting fast enough and you hit an opponent, you can blow them up.
And do these like respawn, or do they?
They respawn over time. They come back over time, and every time someone scores, then the whole thing's back up as well. If you hit an opponent, if you're moving fast enough, they explode. You can score points, not like actual points for game to win the game, but points for your player rank and to see who'll be the star player by clearing the ball, scoring, assisting for a goal, centering the ball down the pitch, shots on goal.
Presumably, sort of when you hit the ball, can you like dribble the ball, or do you
Yes,
actually
you can dribble the ball, but it's all it's physics based. So if you've ever played a game of pool,
yeah,
then
but is it solid physics based or quite floaty? Sometimes physics based games can be a bit floaty. Everything feels a bit too light and a bit bouncy.
Let's put it this way: the ball is very kind of out there. Then again, it all depends on what speed you're moving. I mean, you could. Sometimes you think you've got it nailed. I think it might just be that I need more practice.
Yeah.
But for me, you either hit the ball really fucking hard or you barely hit it at all. So if you're just driving along, that's when you're dribbling it. If you've got a bit of boost on, you could launch the ball fucking 50 feet in one direction, or maybe any,
So can you like sort of almost? Oh, I get that if you boost into the ball, it's obviously going to kick it far. But kind of like when you're dribbling, can you like sort of kick it by
you can. So your car can jump.
Okay.
So if you jump forwards into the ball, so you can actually change the angle of the car. So if the ball is coming at you and you want to bounce the ball, say top right, you'll then jump and angle your car.
Oh, so you'll chip it.
Just so the ball hits you, and then as you're moving forwards, the momentum will push the ball in that direction.
And is it sort of related to the car? So the cars obviously have a shape to them.
Yes.
Does it depend where you hits you on the car? So
yes.
you can use like sort of like a flat part of the car to whack it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And are there different types of cars?
Yes, you can get like kind of sleek sports cars, trucks, like big old fucking American vans and things like that, or like transit vans, beach buggies. The DeLorean's in there because I rock around in a DeLorean.
Land Rover Defender?
I have no idea, mate. If there is, I haven't unlocked it yet.
Oh.
But there are some like really cool little cars as well, like themed cars.
And they have different sets as well, so that the sports cars
seems like it, yeah.
And can you like damage your opponent's cars? So can you?
You can hit them hard enough to blow them up when you boost into them.
Because my thing, does like the sports car, like the truck, for example, does that?
I'm gonna be honest,
slower but tougher.
I'm gonna be honest. I've not really even thought about it. I just know that I hit people when I'm moving at full speed, and I hit you, you're gonna blow up.
Well,
so
that's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much. It's a really fun little game. I like trying to figure out the best way to get shots from across the map. Or sometimes someone will go for a long shot, and then you can just jump and fly by using your boost. So if you jump, angle the car, and then hit boost, you can fly like a little rocket.
So is it like in the old sort of platform games where when you jump, you can just like rotate your car in any direction? Yeah. So I suppose you can jump, aim up, and then fly vertically. Is it?
Yeah,
oh, that's interesting.
Because your car has kind of like little boost rockets on the bottom of it as well, so you can actually kind of glide the car around in midair.
Oh.
And then obviously if you hit boost, then that ignites the engine, the
afterburner.
Yeah, and then you just forwards. Words fail me. I was just like, that looks really cool when you do it. I'm just thinking of how cool my car looks, my little DeLorean as I fly.
And if you hit 88 miles per hour, do you travel in time?
If someone blows me up as I'm moving at speed, my car does disappear and the flames come off the DeLorean, which is pretty neat. And if I'm moving at full speed, the kind of electrical effects that come off the car in Back to the Future, those happen as I'm driving at full speed. So it actually looks like I'm about to.
It's more like a base car you get in the game.
No, it was a DLC for 70p.
Oh, that's horrendous. 70p for a car. Dear me.
There's a lot of DLC in the game, but to be fair, I didn't really care for it. I just wanted the Back to the Future DeLorean because I like the DeLorean. Otherwise, all the other cars, you can unlock them through playing the game, I think. Other than obviously the DLC cars, but either way, it's not that big of a deal.
Cool.
I think it's a really fun little game, and if you can get hold of it.
It does seem... I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually say it's terrible. No, anybody who plays seems to love it.
The Linux port's pretty good too. Works really well. It's a game that you do need a control pad for. You can play it with mouse and keyboard, but it just feels a bit awkward. I've tried playing it with mouse and keyboard. It is quite... but then again, for someone like yourself, you'd probably be more used to...
Mouse, keyboard. Controllers never touch a controller.
Well, at the end of the day, it works. Once you get used to the controls. The controls are tight. The music's fucking awful. It's just kind of like this techno-y, happy, upbeat shit.
But is it awful in a good way? Okay.
Awful. It's just fucking awful. But then you're not listening to that because I was playing the game in a live stream, so all you could hear is "you fucking cunt" and screaming at the top of your lungs. And
Well, that's fair enough.
because goddamn, them Korean schoolgirls were good. They were amazing.
They're Korean.
I did watch. I will say though, I did watch because I don't know if is Rocket League officially an esport now. Are there tournaments in it?
Well,
now? Like Dota and League and.
I don't think there's like I don't think they necessarily put on a tournament, but I think like there's these like esports companies, aren't there? And they pick games tournaments because I think they've picked COD before, but I don't think it's like an official EA.
I actually knew a couple of champion COD players. Terrifying.
Yeah.
People could take out an entire team with a pistol. Jesus Christ, fuck that. But yeah, I was watching I guess he's a semi-pro League player. The dude had mad skills. I mean, this kid had the game
Skills of an
down.
X.
Yeah, mate. Fucking Z's, X's, exclamation marks for ones and shit after that. Kid had the game down. Flying that car around like a pro.
Wow.
It was insane.
That sounds like you misspend a youth doing that sort of thing.
Hey, there's apparently money in it because the kid was loaded with sponsorships. So
there you go. Good on him. Cool. So Rocket League, thumbs up.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
If you can get it on cheap. By the way, it's on sale on Bundle Stars right now for 40% off. So I think you can get it for like cheap.
By the time you hear the edited version, audio listeners, it won't be on sale anymore. We're sorry.
It's on sale.
But this is your own fault for not watching the YouTube live stream.
It's one of those few games actually where I could say it's fun to play online, even if you don't know the people who you're playing with, because you don't have to be on mic. You can just be dicking around on the pitch.
And is it? I presume the matches are quite short, presumably.
Yeah. Was it 3 or 5 minutes? Something to that effect.
Yeah. So
they don't take very long. It's pretty fun.
If you have a bad one, you don't remember it for very long.
No.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I've been playing a game called The Signal From Tolva.
Righto.
So it's made by Big Robot, who made Say Being Hunted. This is like their next game. So unlike Say Being Hunted, which is CG generated, this game is like a handcrafted environment. So there's distinct like areas and so forth. Plotline, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't quite figured out. It seems to be
figured out that they haven't given you a story, or
the story's
it's
not
just
very
in
clear
pieces?
what you're doing. It's all split out in pieces, but the background of who you are isn't very clear from the start.
Okay.
You are part. I can't say if you're a robot or an alien or a person, but you go to like this planet called Tolva, and basically there's a signal there you need to find. Hence the name, The Signal From Tolva.
Sure.
And to do that, you have you've done a drop, and you can take control of these drones. So walking on the planet are drones, and you can sort of take control of them. Which effectively, and what you can do at any point in the game, you can like open a map, and there's like spawn points, like bunkers, and any drones that are nearby, you can just hit a button, and you'll take control of one of them. So you can sort of jump between drones.
Sure.
Basically, it's fast travel. That's basically its fast travel mechanic, rather than actually just traveling there. You literally like disconnect your established connection to one drone, you just reconnect to another one. Sure. And when you die, your drone gets killed. You don't die, you just like, I've lost connection now, I need to reconnect to somebody else.
Okay.
So you can't die, there's no sort of like permanent effort, it's just like you just effectively just respawn anyway you like.
Sure.
I mean, each drone we take will look different, so there'll like be some variations, they're all roughly the same looking, but there'll be variations in their way they look and so forth. And basically it plays very much like Far Cry and its outpost system. So you sort of like go from area to area, and there'll be things to do, like there'll be like areas you can scavenge resources off. There'll be bunkers, which will be controlled possibly by enemies, and you have to like kill the enemies and then can take control of the bunker. They're important because you can only hand missions in at bunkers.
Right.
So you can't effectively progress.
All of them under enemy control, or
no, some start under your control, and then you can basically take over, and they become under your control. There's two enemy factions. There's the bandits, and there's the zealots. The zealots are bloody hard. It's quite a tough game. I'm playing on normal now, and I've managed to about over half the map, and I'm now starting to get to the stage of bloody hell. This is fights you really have got to think about. What you're doing, because combat's it's actually quite interesting. Once you'll get the hang of what you can do in it, it's actually quite interesting, quite well thought out. You can only carry 3 weapons. You always have a pistol. And you have 2 secondary weapons, and they basically fall into sort of 3 types. You've got like a command module, which allows you to take command of other friendly robots, and you can then control them direct, or you can say like go over here and do stuff. You have like a I can't remember the name of it, like a carbine machine gun thing, and you have like a long range rifle. I think there's another weapon. There's another weapon there actually, which I forgot, which I've not used. But it's like sort of, it seems to like sort of have to charge up and so forth. And these weapons will have various sort of, some will be obviously do more damage, and there'll be like a lot of varieties of them as well. And basically, as you go around, as you capture bunkers, and as you complete like actual missions in the game, you will unlock more weapons. And then you go back to your bunker, and then you can use them and equip them and so forth. And so they might be like, sometimes they're just like more powerful.
Sure.
Sometimes they will recharge. So instead of reloading, you just recharge them. Okay. So basically, you like sort of, if you're a robot, you sort of link them up to yourself, and you just recharge them from your own power supply. It doesn't actually, you don't lose anything for doing that. You don't like lose like health or anything. You just recharge them, which means that it doesn't matter what it is reloading. So that's its reload mechanic. But I mean, some weapons recharge. Like I've got my current machine gun I'm using recharged in just over a second and a half. But my sort of long range rifle takes about 3.5 seconds to recharge. And once you recharge, you can't swap out. You're stuck to that. So you got to make, when you decide to recharge, it's got to be, you're fixed.
Sure.
So I say, so some weapons, and you also limit to how many weapons you can have. So each weapon will have a power draw on your reactor, and you're limited to how much you can draw. So you can't like equip 2 powerful weapons, because you'll draw too much power from your reactor, and you won't be able to.
Sure.
As you progress through the game, your power, I think, as you complete certain missions, your power level max power goes up.
Sure.
So there are certain other missions in there. So you've got like bunkers, we've already mentioned. You've got areas which are full of resources, which you just can scavenge resources off. And resources used to, so you unlock the weapons, but you then have to buy them with resources.
Okay, cool.
So you can't instantly equip them. You have to purchase them.
Sure.
There are missions which are like what the main sort of missions, which are like these signal missions, where you have to go into space. You have to like find what's drawing the signal and like sort of connect to it and sort of like download it.
Sure.
And that'll give you part of the storyline when you go back to your monk and redeem. And those signal missions are what upgrades your rank.
Okay.
And there's only 6 ranks in the game. There's only 6 levels. You start off rank 0, and then you go up to rank 6, and that's it. There's no more to it. And you have to do 3 missions per rank. So by large, there's only 18 main missions in the game, effectively. And then as you get higher ranks, enemies will get tougher. You'll unlock new abilities to equip new weapons. Your suit, for example, you can equip more things. Like initially you have no protections at all, but then you can pick up like a radiation protection, a chemical protection, and what they call a weird protection, which is like against like weird energy types and so forth, like quantum particles. And parts of the map will be like effectively closed. This is how they gauge you, basically. The parts of the map will be closed off by radiation, so you can't go through there unless you get that certain. Yeah. Sure. So that's the sort of gate the map. So you are sort of gated as you go along, and I've now got the toxicity one, so I can now walk through the toxic areas and get to the third parts of the game, so forth. I just briefly mention the weapons again. So some weapons have like scopes on. So I always have a scope equipped sort of long range rifle, and I've got another one which is my machine gun, which is like sort of got a reflex sight on it, so up close and personal, and that's quite powerful bombing. So combat. Let's go on to combat. So I've talked about the recharged weapons. You have an area effect attack, which will be, and you can several types. So you've got ones that just like fire like an incendiary fight. There's ones that will call in a support drone. There's one that, this is interesting, I think this one disrupts senses. What I think it basically does is makes everybody forget you're there. Okay. So it's not quite a stealth mechanic, because you can't like sort of, because they know they've been interfered with. So you can't like use it to sneak around or anything. But if you've got a massive firefight going on, activating that quickly just takes the heat off you for a second, which allows you to recharge. Sure. And you're only charging out halfway normally, or repair yourself. But there's these ambush missions. If you complete the ambush missions, your repair goes up as well. Okay, cool. So everything's sort of linked together as you complete missions. Very much like Far Cry. Everything's linked together. As you complete missions, you'll go up basically more and more. So you also have a shield, which you have a little separate shield bar, which you can activate and deactivate in combat. And as soon as you activate your shield, it starts draining its shield power. If you get hit, You won't lose any health, but that'll knock a bit off your shield a bit further.
Sure.
So basically, it's a good sort of... Once you know how to use it, once you know it's there, you do find yourself like, okay, I need to have my shield now to get into cover, which I can then recharge my health, and I'm ready to get into fight. So fights are this frantic balancing act between... Because obviously enemies can do all this as well. They can recharge shields, they can do all this as well. So it's fights these balancing act of, shields up, run to cover, hide, shoot them up, get enough bullets on to kill them. Then, I'm being attacked by somewhere else. Quick, put my shields up before I lose my health. Run and cover, recharge my weapon.
Sure.
It's a real balance. And when you're fighting in a big fight, you're having to think real hard. I mean, a lot of shooters, you tend to sort of like take cover, full of pop shots, take cover again. No, this one you have to constantly be moving, repositioning, thinking about what you're going to do. And if you get it wrong, you're dead.
Sure.
So combat's quite frantic and quite fun and quite stressful at the same time.
Sure.
So that combat actually works quite well. It is a bit clunky because it's made by a group of about 4 or 5 people. So I'd say graphic wise, it's probably sort of like mid 2000s era graphics. Where things are they're quite nice looking, but still a bit blocky.
Sure.
That sort of
an upgrade from Sir or
upgrade from Sir, definitely.
Okay.
Sir was quite cartoony graphics away, but quite simple. There's definitely an upgrade, but it does feel like, say, sort of like early 2000s sort of level graphics. Everything's not got that sort of smoothness to it. It's all quite rough. But for a small team, they've done a really bloody good job, and it's a really
gameplay trumps the
the gameplay. I mean, when I first played it, I thought this just feels like a sort of inferior version of Far Cry.
Sure.
But as I've sort of got into it, I do find myself sort of going back to it, and again, and that must be something's going on there.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
you haven't quite put your finger on what it is yet, but there's something special there that makes you want to play more.
Yeah, I want something like this morning before work. Normally, I don't play games before I go to work. I just can't be off. But I thought, I'm just going to put an hour.
Yeah, sure.
And because of the way it's set up, you can just put an hour into it. You can just go ahead and do it. I can't read that, sorry. I can't actually read that from over here.
Good job.
Right, cool.
I agree.
Wherever that was.
Yeah. Comment is that Jesus is a baby killer. Yes.
Is he?
Apparently so.
I thought it was Herod.
Yeah, well, not according to them.
Fair enough. Yeah, so it's quite a fun game. Would I recommend it? Not full whack. I'll definitely put one up in a sale.
Sure. How much is it? That question.
I think it's about £15.
Ooh.
It's not. It's or 50.
Not bad.
It's
but...
not bad. Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's good for what it is. I mean, it's as an indie developer studio, I have. I don't say lower standards. That's the wrong way if I want to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I have lower expectations from them. Okay. So it is quite fun.
So what you're saying is you have lower expectations for an indie developer like I do for EA and, and companies like that.
Yeah.
You expect Ubisoft game.
You expect someone who's got 1,000 members of staff to do a little bit better than 5 guys with Unity.
That's a Bethesda game. That's probably not going to run. That's probably going to suck.
Yeah. So... but yeah, so it's quite a fun game. I said pick it up in a sale. I wouldn't necessarily buy it full whack. Yeah, so it's an okay little game. Did you want to briefly talk about your Splatoon Fest? So last time we were here, as we left, you were then about to start a Splatoon Fest.
Yeah, the Splatoon Splatfest of tomato ketchup versus mayo.
And you were ketchup?
Yes, I was Team Ketchup.
Makes sense.
Well, yeah, it also doubles down that one of the main characters, Pearl, who I absolutely hate, represented Team Mayo. So there was no way in hell I was going to be Team Mayo.
Did you know this in advance? Did you guess?
Yes, that was already there that she was a supporter of Team Mayo. In all of the artwork for advertising the Splatfest, she was advertised as head of Team Mayo. She was there with the jar of mayo.
So was that the defining decision-making tool, was it?
Yeah, pretty much. I hate Pearl.
Okay.
So even if it's something that I really like, I'm not going to pick it, even if teams...
So if it was Team Linux and Team Windows and Pearl's in charge of Team Linux...
Oh shit! No, I'm right. I'm gonna have to take that back. I'll have to take that back. Yeah, I'll be like, Pearl, I hate you, but I'm not letting the fucking Penguin Squad down for this one, bitch. Get out.
I found him. So did you play for all 8 hours? That's
I did say in the last podcast I was probably going to play for about 8 hours. I think I probably put in about 4.5, 5.
Lightweight.
Well, no, but I said that I wanted to play until I got to King rank.
And did you get to King rank?
Hell yeah. Fucking damn right I did, son. That's the only reason I went to bed. I was like, alright, there we go.
My work here is done.
That's it. Well, The thing is, though, it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, and I joined quite late into the Splatfest, because obviously I've been rolling since about 3 o'clock that day. I got on at about, 11? Something to that effect. 11, 12 o'clock. Wow, there were some good players on Team Mayo. No two ways about it. We got fucking destroyed, mate. It was amazing.
What was the team balance like? Because last time there was, like you said, there was...
Last time for Team Ice Cream versus Team fucking... That was a Team Cake. Yeah, Team Cake. It was mostly Team Ice Cream. This time round, balance was a lot better. A lot better. I very rarely went up against members of my own team. There are a lot of good players on Team Mayo this time round. As soon as I logged in, I was seeing kings and queens, the top ranks in Team Mayo. I was like, oh, shit's about to get real. Oh, yeah, it did. It got real, and I got nubbed. Although they had one of their first special maps that was kind of designed for the Splat. I hated it. They had special maps for the Splatfest, and I fucking hated them. Absolutely hated them.
Right.
It's awful.
Was it just like poor design, or was it just like this?
They had 2 standard maps and 1 Splatfest specific map, and the normal maps that they had on rotation were fine, because in Splatoon 2, 2 maps get put on rotation every 2 hours. Yeah. So 2 maps are chosen, 2 hours pass, they change those maps. You don't get to choose; they just change them, and then you play them randomly as the games go.
That seems quite. 2 hours. That means you're going to be playing as maps an awful lot.
Splatoon 1 was 4 hours.
Wow,
that was on 4 hours. I always thought it was a lot quicker.
I always think it'd be like sort of rotating like every game.
No. So you have 2 maps, and then they'll randomly cycle through those 2 for 2 hours. Now you can choose different game modes though, which will have another 2 maps. So you have an option of 4 different maps, but a lot of people don't really bother. Best mode in the game is the Splatfest, the Turf War, which is standard Turf War, and so you're basically stuck with 2 maps.
All the maps symmetrical, are the asymmetrical ones in there?
No, I think they're all symmetrical. I do believe. I don't think there are any there. No, they're symmetrical.
Cool.
They're symmetrical. The special Splatfest map. The reason I didn't like it, I would say poor design. It just felt really slow because the whole map moved.
Right.
So it was based on.
Did yours stand still and the map move underneath you?
Yeah, that was it. You were on moving platforms.
Ah.
So there were gaps would open up and close throughout different parts of the map.
That sounds quite frustrating.
Yeah. So you could be trying to make a jump, and all of a sudden the platform would move as you're.
That sounds very frustrating.
Or you're on a power play and you're trying to push forwards, and all of a sudden the map is pulled out and you can't get to where you want to go. The other team has now surrounded you. You're screwed.
Yeah.
Timing was pretty hardcore on that map. The map was really small. That's kind of a common theme with Splatoon 2 maps. They're really small, so they push all the players together. Not something I'm a really big fan of in Splatoon 2, considering Splatoon 1 had. Splatoon 1 it didn't have huge maps. But they seemed to feel bigger.
They're quite, from what I saw you playing in Splatoon 1, they seemed reasonably sized.
Yeah, Splatoon 2, the maps are definitely tighter because I think they're really trying to encourage you to get in the face of the enemy player more, which I think takes away from Splatoon. Even though it is an arena-based shooter, it is a coverage-based shooter, not a kill-based shooter. In Splatoon 2, because things are so tight, you can barely go a few seconds without running into an enemy player.
That's what I was going to say, because I think there's a problem in the last game that there are people who basically just go around just playing the outside of the maps.
Yeah.
And if one team was concentrating all about fighting and somebody on their team thought, well, they're fine, I'm just going to go around paint, they would just win by quite easily.
But that was how you'd kind of do it in Splatoon 1. I
wonder if that's what I was trying to discourage. They perhaps felt that was just...
Perhaps, but then that is the whole point of the game, is to win by coverage. So...
What you want to mix, actually, isn't it?
Sure. It would be nice if they had more bigger maps. We had some really neat maps in Splatoon 1. They're gone. In my opinion, the worst map to come over to Splatoon 2 was one of the maps from Splatoon 1, Moray Towers. I hated that map in Splatoon 1. It's the map that they brought over from Splatoon 1. Why the fuck did they bother?
Yeah.
I think no, they might have pulled over another one from Splatoon 1, but again, that was a really tight map.
Yeah.
There were so many bigger maps that were mechanically so much better and more fun, yet they took them away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Splatfest was fun. I didn't like the special map. We got completely destroyed. I haven't actually logged on since, so I don't know how badly we lost. I just saw the announcement the day after on the Nintendo news page or whatever that Team Mayo had won. And everyone decided that they were going to let me know the day after. Oh, by the way, you fucking lost. I was like, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, so in that case, would you say, if you had picked Splatoon 1 or Splatoon 2?
Ooh. I'm going to be honest. I like Splatoon 1 better.
I got that feeling.
I like Splatoon 1 better. Some of the game modes in Splatoon 2 are better. Like, you've got like the Horde mode, Salmon Rush. That's kind of fun. Not that I've properly played it yet, but that was kind of fun. I prefer the story of Splatoon 1. Although they have tied it quite nicely in Splatoon 2. The thing is, Splatoon 2, and a lot of people say, oh, it's just Splatoon 1 with better graphics. It's like, yeah, Call of Duty 2 is basically Call of Duty 1 with better graphics.
Well,
you know?
Slightly.
Well, slightly better graphics, but
We've
you know what I mean?
The gun 2 more polygons.
Well, for some people's computers back then,
yeah,
that might trip you. But I don't understand that complaint with a lot of people that it was basically the same game. It's like, you ever played an Assassin's Creed game or a fucking Call of Duty game or
Far Cry?
Yeah, they are the same game, just with a bit of extra polish or some different modes. Or
a sequel's meant to be take the original game. If it's a story-based game, you follow the story.
Mm-hmm.
But mechanics-wise, it should be roughly the same, but you fix the bits that didn't work. Mm-hmm. Maybe try something new.
Yep.
I mean, it's nice to try something new. Upgrade your graphics, upgrade all the handling. Basically, you tweak the first one, make it almost like a patch version of the first one. But if you go something completely different sequels, it sometimes can work.
Yep.
But a lot of times, it just falls flat. A lot of times if you go completely different, people antagonise all the people who didn't like the first one, or people like the second one go back and play the first one and hate it, and basically just grow rift.
See, Splatoon 2 is close enough to Splatoon 1, in my opinion, for you to easily jump into Splatoon.
Yeah,
the first one. They had to keep Splatoon 2 really close to Splatoon 1 though, because so few people bought a Wii U.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to experience Splatoon 1. This is basically Splatoon 1.5. On a portable that everyone's bought. Yeah. This is the entry drug for a lot of people.
The Switch has been insanely popular. I'm amazed at how popular the Switch has been, to be honest.
A lot of people, most of the people I spoke to, or that I have been speaking to, actually bought this. I thought that a lot of people bought the Switch for Zelda. A lot of the people I've been talking to bought it for Splatoon 2. Because they didn't want to get a Wii U, but when they saw that Splatoon 2 was coming out on Switch, they were like, oh hey, I want to actually play Splatoon, but I don't want to own a Wii U because of the Wii U, sarcastic air quotes, doesn't have enough games. Has some really good games, just a lot of people maybe didn't like them or weren't interested. They wanted to have their Call of Duties, whereas the Wii U had a lot of RPGs and stuff like that.
And the thing is, when you've got Call of Duties in the world and so forth, I mean, Splatoon's different. Let it be different.
For sure.
You can't complain, oh, it's not like Call of Duty. Well, play Call of Duty then.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with having a different type of game.
Don't play Splatoon like you would Call of Duty and expect to win.
Well, I've seen people arguing about how Armour isn't arcadey enough.
But it's supposed to be like a simulator style
military
thing,
simulator. It advertises itself. Yeah, but better if it was a bit more like Call of Duty. No, it wouldn't.
If you want Call of Duty,
play Call of Duty. And all the hundreds of other military games that copy Call of Duty. You're well catered for. Don't complain that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because you want to play Armour style game, but you want to play it like Call of Duty, don't complain about that.
Don't go playing a hyper realistic shooter and then complain when you get ruffled when you run in there and
when you go hyper realistic shooter and you go up against like people who play the hyper realistic shooter and defeat you terribly because they play like you would. And
they play like they're gonna die.
Call of Duty is what was it? I remember some stupid comment that someone said Call of Duty is one of the most realistic games out there.
Whoa! Yeah, yes. I never knew that in real life, if I got shot in the lung, I could just hide behind a short wall, then just watch the bullet pop out.
If you join the army, 9% of British Army training is how to hide in cover.
Oh, damn!
It is. It's like just hide in cover, I mean, the Americans don't. That's why they die. That's why they get so much friendly fire. But you know, it's that is what it's all about. It's that. And if you are a good soldier and you kill plenty of enemies, you get to call in a jeep. I don't know if you can. I think you can do that in Call of Duty. I've never played. I've not played them since the World War II games.
I'll be honest. Those were probably the. No, actually, I've played the last one I played was Modern Warfare 2.
I played literally.
Was Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4?
I think something like that.
Like I played that one in the one.
Trouble is, you've got to take into account those also the console games that were different to the ones, and it depends which ones you class them as. Because you had Call of Duty, and then I think. I can't remember if there's any more. I think Modern Warfare might have been the next Call of Duty on the PC.
No.
Are you sure was there one in between? Because there was Call of Duty on the console. There was several. There's a couple on consoles.
There was Call of Duty and Call of Duty 2. They were both World War II shooters.
And there's Call of Duty Big Red one. That was console. Big Red one, I'm sure. Do you know what? Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Come on, Wikipedia. Trouble is,
because I know that Modern Warfare was COD 4. And then you had the other skip, which was Black Ops, and then I think you had Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, the bloody 3G here.
Because two of them had Soap McTavish in them.
They're the Modern Warfare ones that had him in them, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're the last ones I played.
Yeah.
Those were okay. The multiplayer sucked balls, but...
Well, it's one of the most realistic shooters out there. Just...
See, that's the thing though, because I couldn't play Call of Duty Online. One, flat out, I'm going to confess, I suck at Call of Duty Online.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer, when it comes to online shooters, I either prefer hyper-realistic or arena shooters.
Right, here we go. So there's Call of Duty 2003, which is the one I played. Call of Duty 2, come on this. Then there was Call of Duty, which was it didn't come out on PC. Then there was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which was Windows. Call of Duty World at War. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yep.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty
Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, it came in 2000. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And Call of Duty World War 2. I'm sure there was one called Big Red One. I must be missing this completely. Oh yeah, that's right, because there was two different developers working for it. You had Infinity Ward and Treyarch, yeah. And they were doing... Yeah. And yeah, apart from... Wow, the amount that were released on OS X, that's quite impressive. So it's a Call of Duty, for some reason Windows got skipped on Call of Duty 3. But Windows PCs had every other one apart from Call of Duty 3 for some reason.
Sure.
I'm going to have to search for Big Red One because I'm sure there's one called Big Red One.
You ever play
the
Battlefield game?
Call of Duty 2 Big Red. Call of Duty 2 is Big Red One. That's what I'm thinking of. That was the one that came on PlayStation.
Okay, I'd never played any.
So Call of Duty 2 came out on PC. The Call of Duty 2 Big Red One came out on PlayStation.
Was that kind of like you had Battlefield and then you had... there was a console set of Battlefield games, weren't there?
No, you're thinking. Are you not thinking of?
Battlefield 19.
No, it was. There was the. The one which was made by the same developers, very similar, but it was third person. That was.
Actually, I've never played the ones on the console, so I wouldn't know.
What was it called? Not Brothers in Arms. That was World War II. This is not Bad
Company.
Bad Company. That was it. Bad Company.
Those were the console ones, weren't they?
Yeah.
The console Battlefield games. They're on PC now, aren't they?
Bad Company 2, I think, went on PC.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bad Company wasn't.
Because I skipped those. I played Battlefield.
I've seen it soon if we drop.
Sure. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Oh, apparently we dropped connection. Don't worry about it.
Alright, well, it's okay. It's still broadcasting, so there we go. We dropped the connection.
Sure.
So we've had a little brief run of conversation, but we're still talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it.
Because I think Battlefield didn't come to consoles properly until
Battlefield 3.
Yeah, that was it. Battlefield 3. Because Battlefield 1942 definitely wasn't on consoles.
I loved that game.
I enjoy Battlefield.
I don't know why, but I had this horrible kind of might and magic thing with Battlefield 1942, and that I was kind of expecting it to go really retarded at the end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by
I
might and
think
magic
so, yeah.
syndrome, where you're playing through might and magic, and all of a sudden you're like your knights and wizards and stuff like that, and then at the end aliens turn up.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I was kind of, I don't know why I was expecting that to happen.
That also knows the Crytek syndrome, because in all their games they tend to do something like that, and you go, oh, for crying out loud, just leave it, people.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that really got me. But
Yeah, because I really like Battlefield 2. I didn't play it a lot online. I used to play it a lot against bots because I could never get, for some reason, it kept crashing whenever I went online. I think only successfully twice actually managed to play a match online.
Sure.
But it constantly crashed on me. But I did enjoy Battlefield 2 because you could call in artillery and you could call in cartillery.
I used to love Vietnam.
Yeah, I never played Vietnam.
Loved Vietnam. That was probably my favourite of the lot of them.
Yeah, because that came after 942. It was then Vietnam. Then Battlefield 2. Then it was Battlefield 3. And then it's now I'm sure it's Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4,
and
then Battlefield 1, which is World War
which
One.
apparently
A lot of
really
people
good.
have told me it's really, really fun. They said if I like 1942, I'd love Battlefield 1. And I said, look, I love all Battlefields, just I'd never bothered to play Battlefield 3 and 4. I have Battlefield 3. I remember talking to a bunch of DICE guys in Norwich at one point. There was like a big old van going around, and they were letting people go around and play Battlefield.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty fun. But I had a copy of Battlefield 3, and I think I played the opening single player mission, and I just never bothered playing it again.
I remember them going on holiday somewhere, and I walked around. There was a Humvee there, and I thought it parked in the street, and there was loads of guys in combat fatigues. I was like, this is weird. As I walked past, there was an Xbox set up in the back, and there was a big TV, and I thought, are these guys just randomly playing Xbox? But no, it was a advert for Full Spectrum Warrior. And you go around, but every time I went past him, it was just the guys in fatigues playing it. I don't think I ever saw a single non-person. I don't think that every time someone says, "Oh, what's this game?" Go away. We're playing this. Yeah,
we're playing this game. Fuck off.
Because they got to wear combat fatigues and drive around on a Humvee, which didn't fit in any street I've ever seen. It's like they had to park at half on the pavement, and it was still basically to take up the whole lane. It's like, oh dear.
Bless them.
Battlefield, yeah.
So would you, if we could get a hold of Battlefield 1, if we all had Battlefield 1, would you play it then?
Yeah, if I had enough people playing, yeah, might give it a go. You know me, I'm online games.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, I'm the same with some online games, but it really does depend.
But I want to get Pump Bag. Pale Battlegrounds Unknown.
Okay.
That looks really, really good. That's like sort of multiplayer. That's like proper combat orientated multiplayer.
Loads of people have told me to get it. If you get it, let me know how it runs on your rig, and then I'll know that it won't run on mine. Because, well, I was told that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, is it PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been told that game, you basically have to play it on low on most stuff, otherwise it looks like ass, or like it will run like ass. If you put it on anything where it looks reasonable, it's probably going to destroy your computer. And my computer's made out of cheese.
Right,
so, with my external graphics mod.
I've also heard that, I can't remember if we were discussing it on podcast, we were discussing it, me, you, middlemeister podcast last month, or whether it was another podcast I was listening on. They're saying that the other reason to play on low is because it does things like, it sort of allows you to see people a lot easier.
Yeah. That was the old Ghost Recon trick.
Yeah,
that Putty used to use. You remember Sparky, didn't you? SSD Sparks.
Yeah,
that's what he used to do. He'd turn the terrain detail to low,
but the character detail to high.
Yeah,
I used to use night vision all the time. That used to work well as well. Apparently, you can even show us some other multiplayer game when the graphics you could switch off grass. So people used to hide in the grass.
No, that wouldn't work.
Switch it off and they could just see them.
Oh my god.
That's
what a dick move.
Yeah, but it's like developers, you don't think of this when you're developing a game. Why make grass that you can hide in?
That's it, and then boop, off.
Yeah. So,
oh my god.
You might as well have like a
poor game design right there.
Yeah.
Clever. Yeah. Like clever for the players.
Oh, clever
hack,
players.
But...
Actually, if you want to play a real hardcore mission, you play any of the Armour games online. Oh my god. Because obviously, everybody's wearing proper camo and stuff. It's literally you are...
I think I might have one of the Armour games. I never really got a chance to play it. Isn't that what H1Z1 was an Armour mod at one point? Was it H1Z1?
You're thinking of DayZ.
That's the one.
Or DayZ, which PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is heavily inspired by.
I did notice it's pretty
It's very
Cutthroat.
heavily inspired by Well, it's basically 100 v 100.
Yeah.
Or 100 v everybody.
A chap I know, two chaps I know actually streamed it quite a bit regularly, and I've watched a few matches of it. It was pretty fun. It looked pretty.
I
neat.
think you can team up, but I don't know if you can team up within the game mechanics. But I think people do often.
Oh
team
yeah,
up.
for sure. Like they used to in DayZ and
Yeah.
H1Z1. People would
They'd
I'd
jump off-
say right, I'm at XYZ place with me up, and there's kind of a level of trust there as to whether or not we're going to backstab each other.
What they do is at the start of the game, a plane flies over the map,
And you have to jump.
and you have to jump off. And you can jump off straight away. You can jump, pick away, and jump. So obviously, if you're a group of you, say, "Well, all jump now," so all land roughly the same place. Then you can like sort of hijack cars and all sorts.
Yeah.
Of
Band together
cars,
until the end, and then...
Which someone's pointed out makes it very interesting because it means that effectively every map has got virtually infinite spawn points.
Sure.
Because that plane is randomised which direction it heads over and so
Sure.
forth. So although you can jump on its route, but you can steer anyway. So it's like infinite spawn points. Actually, one game I did play online quite a bit, and it's amazing I played a game online. So amazing. PlanetSide 2.
Yeah, I actually remember you talking a lot about PlanetSide 2. I remember us talking about it before it was it beta?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I
I might have talked about. I wasn't playing it in beta. It's definitely after beta I played it.
Sure.
It's on Steam now. You can download it through Steam now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, it's
That's
on
neat.
Steam. Obviously, it's free.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I played a couple matches in it, and I didn't. It's not that it's a bad game. I just didn't get into it because there was no one else that I knew that was playing.
Yeah, I mean, I played it. I was probably the worst player. I switched off voice chat and just all team chat. I mean, because you get put in a team of about 32 people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the great things I love about it is that when you start a game, you just literally when you pick where you're going to go, you get dropped in by dropship.
Yeah,
that's quite cool. You can sort of steer yourself down land. I used to love this sort of there's occasionally you'll find a place that everybody kept dropping on, and you just I was a sniper obviously, so I sat there with my sniper rifle just picking them off as they landed. It's not spawn camping because they don't spawn there. They drop shit. They could drop shit somewhere else. It's not my fault they drop shitted right in front of my sniper rifle. But yeah, I had some fun with that. When all of a sudden you take a base and you won the base, and everybody would just jump and there'd be someone with a car you just run up to, and you just jump in the car, and you'd all get driven to the next base, and people on the machine guns fly away, and you jump off and take the next base. Mm-hmm. I think the only trouble I had with it is that it just didn't. You never feel like you actually made any more progression, because yes, you take base after base to base, but within a few minutes they'd take the base you already did.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be nice if there was an actual progression to it. So as you took a base, it was like hell it was like, okay, this base is now being held for 20 minutes, half an hour.
Sure.
So a certain degree of, you didn't have to worry. So front lines, if you had a good moment, you could push the lines back. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, you just felt like the front lines never really moved very much because you were constantly retaking and taking
kind of
bases.
a Splatoon groove, to be fair. You take the map and it only literally takes seconds to lose everything that you've just done. So
it's no sort of. Be nice. They could have. That was the thing I saw there. But it's like you just had to sort of like the fun is just taking the base, but don't worry about holding them.
Yeah,
because they're just going to get retaken anyway.
Yeah,
so
for sure. That's the same kind of thing that we used to have in Battlefield Vietnam, and apparently from what I've seen in Battlefield 1, just people rush in, take the base, and then fucking leg it to the next one.
Yeah. Same with all the Battlefield games. When you have capture points, once you capture a point, you're best to just move on to the next capture point.
Because you'll get punished for sitting in one place anyway, because the other team will just keep on moving regardless.
Yeah,
and if they see that you're camping around that one base, just move around you.
Yeah, they'll just So
you don't win in online shooters by sitting on your arse.
No, you do, unless you're a sniper.
Yeah.
You find the most obscure place which has good field of view, and you just sit there. And yes, you won't get many kills, but they'll be very satisfying kills.
Sure.
Quality over quantity.
You say that. So
my friend once on Delta Force Black Hawk Down, because Delta Force Black Hawk Down had the thing where the maps would repeat. So you'd have the main map, and then they just would tile themselves outwards. So you could go literally like 2 or 3 kilometers away from the main map and sit there. And because I don't know how far they went for. I don't know how often they repeated, but they went on a long way.
Sure.
And you could sit there like about my favourite thing was just literally I'd walk out about half a kilometre outside the map, sit on a hill, and just pick people off for a Barrett. But he literally got onto a game, spawned, literally just sort of ran off distance, just looked up, fired a shot, randomly at 2 people, and it must have just been right. He went through both. There's someone standing behind them on the other, so a barrel went straight through him. And the game ended. He had a 0.5 kill to death ratio because he killed 2 people for the game ended. It's like, oh, well done. Multiplayer games.
For sure.
When they're really open and free, that's why I used to like, because when they just literally could just cock about. I remember...
I miss the days when you could run your own servers.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I literally... I got sworn out very badly once for camping, but there's this... Because obviously, people used to make such crazy maps in Delta Force, so I joined a custom server, and someone had made this like map out of shipping containers. But to get to it, the spawn points located at the bottom. They then made like a ramp out of shipping containers.
Sure.
But you spawn like this sort of blocked in area, and the only way into the map was through shipping containers. Well, I discovered, I was walking around with a heavy machine gun. I discovered I could jump on top of these. So I literally jumped on top and sat there. And because people could only really walk from in one direction in one place, I just sat there. And as I heard the footsteps, they went... and I got about 40 kills just sitting there. Because they couldn't get past me. But, they tried throwing grenades. They just couldn't get past me because they just they couldn't bounce them. And then, occasionally, one person would just literally just see this head pop up, look at me, and no, gone again.
No, we're down.
And yeah, they just couldn't. It was quite reasonably accurate. They just couldn't pass me. And my other teammates, I think, getting pissed off because they all sat there waiting for them to come out. And it's like, here they come. We're going over. Oh, they're dead.
That's it.
Yeah. To be honest, I got bored off by the 40th person. So this is just boring now. I'm just going to.
We used to do that in Return to Castle Wolfenstein. The online component and that. Oh, fucking hell. When you knew where they were coming from, and I can't remember what map it was, but basically you could funnel people into they would always funnel into one place.
Yeah.
No matter where you went, you'd always end up in this one spot. Camp there with a noob tube, dude. And they were down.
I swear, I vaguely remember playing some multiplayer shooter. And it was like Team Fortress, but wasn't. And you had like a teleporter thing. You could set up like a teleport between two places, so your team could like sort of move from the base and stuff. And someone figured out a way to position the teleporter like on something that was like quite thin. So if you went through it, you'd instantly fall straight down, like a cliff. But there was only like one spawn location. So you just ran then, just put the teleporter out on the spawn location. So someone spawned, then you got teleported there and just dropped straight down. And basically that was it. That was like the team's finished then, because they just couldn't. It was pretty shit. I only played like once or twice. It was pretty crap. I can't for life me away what it was called. It was one of these like sort of. It was indie when indie really was, really rough and ready, and it was like you had to literally run it from the X. There was no install wizard. You had to like sort of download them sort of.
Yeah, you had the directory and then book.
Yeah, it was that sort of thing. You had like to configure servers. You had to sort of go into a text file and set it up. It was really rough and ready. And,
them were the days.
Yeah, and really badly designed.
Them were the days.
You haven't playtested it at all, have you? No, you just thought this would work.
Yeah. That looked like a game. That runs kind of like a game.
It'll be fine.
It's a game.
It's fine, yeah. When me and my friends played it was alright. Yeah, but you haven't rated the world multiplayer. People really abuse things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
So, multiplayer games, I miss it. I do and I don't. I feel I went off multiplayer games pretty much when like the likes of Call of Duty came out, to be honest. That's what put me off, and I just got...
What exactly was it about those games that put you off? Because with talking to DeWald, and DeWald isn't a PC game. Well, he is a PC gamer now, but a lot of the things that he talks about are old kind of PC gamer myths. Like really blown out of proportion. Like, that's all people fucking calling you a faggot and teabagging you and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that does happen in games, but not quite to the frequency that you claim it does.
When I used to play online games, there was sort of the insults and abuse, but I think it wasn't. I won't say it was pretty shit, and there'd be some last thing said, and you get your usual like people, but somehow it was just not quite so. How was nicely immature. I know, so that's weird. I know that's a stupid, weird way to say. That's the best way I can describe it. It was. I don't remember the same amount of. Because I have played console online briefly, and the amount of boost I used to get on that was so different to what you used to get when I used to play PC games. It's. I think the average age of a PC gamer is a lot hard. Well, at least it used to be until recently, a lot higher than the average age of a console gamer. It's about 10 years difference.
I don't know though, man, because I mean I've been playing PC games since.
I'm talking about average age.
You know,
there was quite a big difference in age, and I think that PC games can be arseholes, and there are a crew of arseholes, but somehow it just felt it wasn't. Somehow I felt that if you cocked up in a piece when I used to play, if I cocked up and said, "Oops, sorry, I made a mistake," most time people go, "No problem, don't worry about it."
Mm-hmm.
But from when I've seen other people play on the sort of nowadays, when I see people play online and so forth, it's like, "Oh, you make a mistake, you're shit, fuck off," and that sort of thing. It just seems, and I do think it's a lot more abusive than it used to be. I'm out the scene a little bit now because I don't play so much, but I sort of found it as the time went on, it was getting more like that, and that's why I sort of stepped back from it. Or I would only play if all voice chat switched off and all text chat switched off.
Sure. In most of the games that I've played over the years, voice chat wasn't even built in to a lot of the games. So a lot of the abuse that people were saying they were getting in games, just I didn't quite understand it. Now, don't get me wrong, I have played console games where I've been called a faggot and they're going to come and kill me and my mum and my family and all that kind of stuff. But I've also played PC games.
Yeah.
With people like that over the years.
Yeah, I'm not saying they weren't there, just...
Most of the time, though, I don't have any problems with people online. None at all.
Yeah.
So when so many people are like, "Oh yeah, but I don't want to play online because there's always people like being dickheads and there's always 12-year-olds screaming on the mic," you get it, you do get it, but nowhere near as much as people.
No, it's possibly absurd. It's just, but I did notice as time went on, there was a definite shift to. I can't be. Oops, sorry.
Sheepy.
Sorry. That's my text message ringtone, and that's because someone borrowed my house keys today and forgot to bring them back to me.
Oops.
So I'm not going home tonight. Well, I am, but I want to keep them in my car.
Well, you've got a computer. You can still sit outside, get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it'll be charged by the time I get home. Yeah, I can sit down. What more do I need?
You got an inverter in your car, haven't you?
No, I haven't actually.
So you can borrow mine if you want.
I'll put Netflix on. Watch a few things.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There were trolly little bitch kids on console. There have always been trolly little bitches on PC.
Plus, on consoles, you can't put Enter Alt F4 to enable cheats in text in chat box.
Yeah, for sure. But still, there will always be trolls.
Yeah,
like I said, people. No matter what game you play, no matter how serious it is, there will always be dickheads everywhere you go, and that is. If there's one thing I had to tell anyone about life, you will never get away from arseholes. In every job you take, in every school you go to, there will always be a dickhead. I think
that I found at a time that my unpleasant interaction number went up and up and up as time went on. And I think that's what I found.
More and more people had access.
That was it, yeah. There was, I just found that as time went on, it's like, I wasn't enjoying it after a while. It's like, I don't really want to play this up. I'm fed up just being insulted and oh yeah, you're a cunt, you're a fucker, whatever. Oh, why? Because I shot you and this game's about shooting you and I've shot you.
Yeah, we did get ripped into a lot back in the day where, what was it we were playing? Gears of War online. That's a console game, and I can't remember if it was it no, it might have been Halo. And this guy was sniping, and we snuck up on him. And if you just pound someone in the back in Halo, if you melee them from behind, they just die, right? And this dude flipped his fucking shit like we were cheating. You should have told me you were coming. I was like, what? What do you mean? It's like, people don't tell you in war when they're about to put a bullet in the back of your fucking head, or when they're about to break down the door.
Yeah.
When you die, that's your fucking fault. You've been sat there sniping. You didn't say, by the way, guys on the other side of the map, I'm now about to fucking pick you off. Yeah. You just did it. Just because you got wrecked.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Actually, in Black Hawk Down, if you're a sniper, you got claymores. So what I used to do, I used to go to a building, I'd just set a claymore, say it was a ladder, just sit it at the top of the ladder.
Yeah, so when they come up...
Yeah, and if you had a bang behind you, that was your clue to perhaps you need to reposition.
Yeah, for sure.
And you've got the hope that he's got a friend coming up behind him as well.
It.
There's a bit more freeform, but there wasn't really much teamwork going on in Black Hawk Down when I played it. But sometimes you would. I mean, when my mates used to go, and we sort of try and work together a little bit. But yeah, it's like
that's still a standard trick in some Call of Duty and some Battlefield games. Take the claymores, put them at the bottom of the stairs, find a nice vantage point, and then when you hear
bang.
When you hear the claymore go, fucking either leg it or quickly go and put another one behind you, like line up 2.
Yeah. Well, the thing, Black Hawk Down wouldn't work. If you tried that, they'd both go off as soon as someone went up the thing because it wasn't clever enough to.
Yeah, sure. Times have changed since then.
Yeah, they're a bit more sophisticated. I mean, that's. I'm not sure Black Hawk Down, the maps were so huge. You really could find.
Was that the one that we all set up and played as a LAN in college?
Don't think so. We may have done, but I don't remember playing that as a LAN.
Sure.
You might have done in your group, but I don't remember playing.
We did a lot of things in my group.
That was great. That was a game where you could find a building and sort of sit on the outskirts, and you felt clever when you did because it's like there's no me because the maps were huge. I mean, you could spend a whole game lost if you weren't. And some of the maps were so dense of buildings.
Yeah.
Because most of them were player made. The default, there was some okay default, but most of them actually were player made, and so many buildings on them. You could easily get lost, and they were chaotic. It was really a fun game. I have a lot of fun memories from Black Hawk Down.
Question: have you ever played Counter Strike? Did you ever play that much?
Yes.
Thoughts?
Never got on with Counter Strike. Probably because I wasn't very good. I just couldn't get there. I don't know. I played it a little bit, and I downloaded the client for Counter Strike at Lowestoft College because I was on dial-up at the time.
Oh sure.
So I had to download 1.5 gig client. So I had to download it. So I literally went to Lowestoft College one day when it was quiet, and it was like a half-term week. I went and sat in the library, booked out a computer for 6 hours just to download it because at that stage, if you saw the computer, it was gone. Anything that was more, because we only had like sort of 100 megs of storage space.
Yeah.
You could download what you wanted,
but
as soon as you restart the computer, bump, it was gone. So I had to download this and then burn it to a disk. It's like, hope this works, and then take it home. Yeah, I had to find the one PC that had a DVD drive on it because it wouldn't fit on a normal CD drive.
Good time.
And download it, and that was good times. And then I played it, and I never got on with Counter. I played CS Counter Source.
I played Source
a bit
quite
more, and I quite liked Source. That was quite fun, sort of like the little physics objects. And I played Half-Life Deathmatch quite a bit.
I never played Half-Life Deathmatch. That said, I've never actually finished a Half-Life game. Never finished it.
I played the first half. I played Half-Life 2 Deathmatch and Half-Life Deathmatch. I played the Half-Life Deathmatch with his friend where he saw 1v1, and I remember him trying to. There's like this bit where you can like go an event, and you get blown up by this fan, and you go into this upstairs bit, and then you come down the other side, and you can sort of like get there's like some power ups up. There's like some houses there. Well, he hid up there, and every time I saw Bluefield, I just went flying past him so quick he couldn't shoot me, but I couldn't shoot him either.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is not going to work. And then, but you Half-Life, you had these things called snarks, which are like little grubby things that would run up and bite you. And I found those. I quickly went and got the whole crypt them. And I literally just went to the fan and just started throwing them at the fan. So as I flew up, they sort of went and just jumped in gradually. And I just heard him on Skype at the time go, ah! And he started getting eaten by snarks.
Good time.
They don't do like sort of 2 or 3 points of damage. So
That's enough.
So it's but it's good. It's like because they kept falling down the other side. And because they were they didn't care. And because it was like next to you, he's like fall down. They started coming after you, and you could launch a nuclear missile on Half-Life Deathmatch.
Damn.
There was this one map that had a bunker in it, and if you ran to the bunker, there's a button. If you push the button, you'd have this big alarm would go off, and there'd be the known for nuclear missile, and the blast would slowly close over like a minute. And when it closed, then it would just launch a nuclear bomb and blow up the whole map.
Oh, neat.
And well, obviously it wouldn't blow the map up, but everyone outside would be killed.
Sure.
And so if you play it online, you just run in there, and also you hit the nuclear bomb, and everybody would start legging it towards the bunker to get into the bunker. They weren't concerned about shooting each other; they just wanted to get inside the bunker.
Yeah, for sure. So
although I think some players tricked that. Well, yes, I'll get killed by a nuclear bomb, but I can kill a lot of people as they're running towards this bunker.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you get in there, and then you have a little firefight in the bunker, and anyone outside would just get killed. That was quite fun. I miss games that sort of little neat mechanics. Like you remember a little tournament, you said that little place you could you had traps and stuff. You could trap people in like rooms, like the room where you could decompress them. Do you remember that?
I'm trying to think now.
There was a map.
It's been a long time since I played.
There was a map, and it was a decompression chamber, and there was like the only level 5 power up in it.
there are 5 weapons. So the big powerful weapon like rocket launcher redeemer was only in that room, and there are buttons on either side of windows. And someone in there, you hit the button, the door would close and it'd depressurize and they'd explode.
You know what we need to do? Play some Unreal Tournament
Yeah,
at some point.
yeah.
I have to. I don't
See,
remember many of the maps.
I had the PS2 version of Unreal Tournament. I never had the PC because at the time I didn't have a PC power enough to play it, so I didn't. So I had the PS2 version.
We used to play that with a dial-up. Like I can remember Bing's PC was made out of like toast or something. He could barely play it, but we all had copies of UT. People ended up coming to my house because I had a PC and a laptop at the time.
Wow.
So actually, no, did I have 2 PCs and a laptop at the time?
My favourite mode in Unreal Tournament was the assault mode, where you had to assault a base, and it'd be like sort of stages of the assault, and people would spawn at one point, and as you achieved that stage, the spawn points would move back.
I just remember standard deathmatch and capture the flag. I didn't play anything like Assault until UT 2004.
Yeah, well, 2003 got rid of Assault, and they brought it back for UT 2004.
Sure.
I remember, what was it? Was it Twin Worlds? The one with the 2 towers at the other end, each end of the map. And there's like this big, it's like a space. You're like on an asteroid, and there's this big, sort of vast expanse, vast.
Why am I thinking scaffolding?
Possibly, they're really tall towers. You get right to the top. So if you're a sniper, it's great fun because you sit at the top of the tower and it's all.
See, I don't remember many of the maps in UT anymore. The only maps I remember are For Whom the Bell Tolls, and I don't even remember the name of the map, but I just remember that Chalky was a cheeky bastard and he was sniping, and he was camping up on some platform somewhere, and every time Bing ran past, popped him in the back of the fucking head every single fucking time.
Headshot.
That's it. I loved those games. I loved playing Instagear, but I played it a lot in college. I was more of a Quake player though.
Yeah.
So going to UT was a bit of a kind of for me.
There was definitely a sort of a fight between Quake or UT. Which one are you?
Trouble is, I played both.
Yeah.
I really loved Quake 3 Arena.
Are you id or are you epic? Good
So I take it you went UT when the time came.
But
then again, I guess when you got a PC, you played more stuff like Rainbow Six and
yeah. I had Quake 2 on my PC, which I now played online. Then I had UT on the console because it came out because it was a PS2. It wasn't a PS2 launch title, but it was within a few months of PS2 coming out. UT.
Sure.
I know it slipped. I think it slipped basically like launched within like the first 4 or 5 months, and it slipped back. But of course, then I don't think it had, because I think that was because. I'm thinking at some point they gave PS2 online capability. I'm sure at some point you get a mode.
They did, yeah.
But when the UT came out, they didn't have that. They didn't have the online capability.
Sure.
Because it's pre the modem.
PS2 modems for the fat PS2 was a bastard to get hold of, especially around here. Because online stores weren't.
Yeah, but multi-tap was bad enough.
Trying to get most of that stuff around here was. This is what I tried to explain to people that. It wasn't until Amazon was really a thing, and because at the time we were still shopping at game stores, like Game Station. You could still go to like Curry's and places like that to buy games. It wasn't really until Steam and stores like Amazon, where towns like this, or if you lived in a town like this, you could get your hands on the more obscure stuff like hardware, software.
If you wanted AAA games, you're fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, I've got Elite Dangerous 2, which is a Star Trek game, but it's very hard to get hold of because they didn't produce that many. I don't remember how many runs they made of it. They didn't make many. Elite Dangerous, not Elite Dangerous, Elite Force. Sorry, Elite Force 2. Elite Force, because Elite Force was actually a really good Star Trek game. It was a first-person shooter Star Trek game, which I know sounds crazy, but it was a Star Trek Voyager game as well. It's based on Star Trek Voyager. Okay. So everybody hates Star Trek Voyager, and they put a first-person shooter. It's like this shouldn't
Voyager actually.
That was the one where they get stranded in the Delta Quadrants, and they had Borg,
Captain
Janeway.
Yeah, I know that one.
Which I quite like Voyager, to be honest.
I think you watched it.
Yeah, I quite like it. I mean, it's quite bad. I think people hate it because the first 3 seasons are pretty shit.
Sure.
But then most Star Treks are pretty shit for the first 3 seasons. But Star Trek Voyager, it's one of my preferred Star Treks. Voyager. I watched it last year.
Was that your first time watching it? Or?
No, second. I've watched it through before, and I tried to watch it on Amazon Prime. I had a Prime subscription once. Tried to watch it on there. I couldn't get through like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the season. I couldn't get through it. Then it appeared on Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll persist. And yeah, once you get about sort of season 3, season 4, it starts to get decent. And get towards the end, it gets quite really good actually towards the end.
I think you ended up binging the goddamn thing recently. Yeah. I think she's watched that in all the times that we've been, or in all the time that we've been together. I think she's probably watched that through twice, 3 times now.
Deep Space Nine's still my favourite Star Trek series.
Deep Space Nine.
That's the one with Captain Sisko, Black Captain.
Oh yeah, I know that one too.
That's one of my
I can never remember the names of the actual series, but I know the captains of the.
That's my favourite one because it was not set on a Federation ship, it was set on a Cardassian space station, so it's a different environment straight away. It had a big long story arc in the background. Literally throughout the whole series, it builds up towards this war. And then, like last 2 seasons, the war was the backdrop to what's going on. Star Trek never done that before. I mean, yes, I know that sort of Voyager had the sort of the Delta Quadrant in his background, but it never had that sort of proper build up to this season. That worked really well, and they did a nice job of that. And
sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah, you're talking about your game.
Yeah, Elite Force. So yeah, Elite Force was quite common, but then Elite Force 2, I bought a physical copy of. That is so hard to get hold of. You know, literally, it just doesn't seem to exist anymore. And I don't think any digital distribution has it.
Yeah.
It's not on GOG. It's not on Steam. And they're the only ones that I can think exist.
Just like I was talking to some people a while ago because they were like, oh yeah, but in the PS2 days, such and such a game was like, you know, we still had XYZ series on such and such a platform. I said, sure. Like, that PlayStation 2 game might have been the first in the series, and you might have got it in, say, London. I say, but in, you know, out in the boonies here.
If it wasn't a AAA game, you know,
you didn't get it.
You didn't get it. Unless you were lucky and found, like, in a pre-owned section.
Well, you know, game and budget computer games, they did have some rare titles. For example, Suikoden 2, even Choices Video, which was a rental chain, which became Blockbuster, I think.
Yeah, I like Choice Videos. I bought loads of DVDs.
I bought loads of games from there because they had quite a few of the rare titles. They had Monster Rancher, they had Suikoden, but you wouldn't. To be able to buy a game like Suikoden, if you weren't there when it came out, you didn't get it. Same with, say, Mega Man X4. Everywhere else in the fucking country, like the big city, there were shelves of the fucker. Yeah. Over here,
and most places wouldn't order them in for you. Game wouldn't order you stuff in.
No.
I want this game, can you order in? No.
Budget computer games was better for that. Like, I actually got a lot of games imported because, you know, I used to go in there and chat to the owner and say, Legend of Mana, that's coming out in the States. I don't know if it's coming out of here. He said, no, it's not coming out of here. I said, can you get hold of a copy? I'll order one in. And then 50 quid for what would be a £30 game.
Yeah, but it come from another country.
I'd happily imported a lot of games through budget and that. But it wasn't until, you know, Amazon really became a thing, selling games and Steam and that we actually got a lot of these rarer games over here. Or here in this town, we got nothing. As you say, if it wasn't a AAA game or a sports game or something like that, you just didn't get it. If you weren't there when it came out, or if your local game store didn't get it when it came out. Did you ever have the issue where you had to go to Norwich or Ipswich, like the next big town or city over to get...
We had to go to Norwich to get our PS2.
We had to go to...
Although, to be fair, now I think about it, the game wasn't open, so we had to go to Norwich to get our PS2 because there was nothing open around here that had them.
Yeah, for sure. I remember going to Norwich to play on a GameCube.
I remember getting up at 4:30 to go to Norwich because the game was opening at 6 a.m. And we thought, and we'd seen like the sort of like pictures of like all these people queuing outside, like all these other stores. So we got to the game in Norwich and there was no one there.
Yeah.
And they opened at 6 a.m. We walked in the shop and there was no one there. You know, they opened up early for the PS2s. And we got our stuff and we walked out.
Let's be fair, for the most part, Lowestoft, Norwich, and Ipswich skipped a lot of the big crowd stuff until maybe 2006, 2007 thereabouts. Even 2008.
I think the Xbox 360 was quite a big launch when it came. I remember quite a thing going on about that, but that was because there was a lot of hype over it.
But the Xbox PS2 kind of times, the hype train, it didn't hit here until maybe the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 kind of era. And that's what I said to a lot of people. It's that kind of time when we started to get the bigger titles.
One thing I do miss, actually, from buying games physically, and you don't get is... in the old, there's sort of anticipation when you go, shall we go look through this and go, I really want this game, I wonder if they've got it, and you go there and you find it's great. But the thing I really miss is the pre-ordering games. Pre-order a game, we used to pre-order games all the time before they come out, so let's say Silent Hill 2, and you'd read all the things, you get that, and then you get there on the day, and you'd wait for the door to open, you go in, and there's your game, and you sort of had it in your hands, and you got home, and you'd read the manual in the car on the way home, and you get back. With Steam, it's like, this game gets released today. Cool, I'll go to work, come back. Oh, there it is. It's downloaded.
Yeah, you press the button. And
it's not got that sort of...
doesn't have the same build
event to it.
You don't kind of have that same kind of... You don't start kind of, drooling over it. You're not kind of really twitch and psyched about it. I miss manuals. I miss having a manual to read through, flicking through, looking at the artwork. I miss
big boxes. Yeah. And every game's come on an A4 box.
Yeah.
And in a dual case, it's either always broke. Yep. I don't think I've ever seen a dual. I've never seen a dual case intact ever.
If you got your disc and it was still in one piece, you were doing good.
Show me a dual case that isn't broken, and I'll show you a dual case that's never been opened.
That's it.
And you get a box.
Have you ever seen them? Like you get the big box, right, and the dual case inside it is still like in some kind of cellophane.
Yeah.
But the case is still cracked. Or the corner, the bit that clips, like somehow it's broken, so you can just like lift it from where it's supposed to be clipped in. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Or sometimes I remember when there's big boxes, you just get a little paper sleeve. You see them in a paper sleeve,
and think to yourself.
But there'd be like you take it, there'd be a big manual, there'd be a normal manual in there, and then often there'd be like a fluff manual.
Yep.
That would have all the sort of like, so that's MechWarrior 3. So there's the user manual that tells you how to play the game, and then there'd be this manual which is like all the mechs and all the specs, and you go through and look at all the mechs and all their specs, and it's cool and it's great. And
manuals were actually pretty thick,
and overlays. You get little carbon overlays to stick over your keyboard. Oh, I miss them. I miss so many things, and you get the cutouts and all sorts. And I really miss big box games. I've still got all my big box games. I won't get rid of them because I love them too much. And my plan is when I sort of get a bit more space, I'm going to have all shelves and have more displayed on shelves all set up and look really cool. And if they still release games in big boxes, that'd be one thing that would push. And they came with all that extra gun from that. That'd be one thing that would push me back to buying physical copies.
See, that's
why I like collector's editions actually, because that's what basically a bit harking back to that sort of thing.
That's the thing. The thing is though that collector's editions annoy me. I don't know if... So, I like the Final Fantasy 14 game.
Yeah.
But paying £100-some-odd for the collector's edition, that's excessive. Yeah. That's fucking rude. I know you've put a lot of detail into like the statue or whatever that comes with it, but really?
It depends what you get in there, to be honest. So, I spent £100 on my Deus Ex, the collector's edition. But for what I got in there, I considered it worth it.
Sure.
I got this figurine was really nice.
I don't mind like £100 for a collector's edition.
Probably my limit.
Fine, but when you say to me, "Oh yeah, it's going to be £150,"
yeah, that's
and it's all because of a statue. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some Japanese statues in certain stores from years past where you could get like a scale model of a character, and it's like £150. But the detail in those is amazing. But for a games collector's edition that you're going to release every 15 minutes, Call of Duty collector's edition, there's a new one every year, you're never going to be able to get
I don't buy many collector's editions. I've got a few. I bought more of them when they were cheaper. Yeah. £50 is a good chance I'll buy the collector's edition.
What is the thing that swings you in a collector's edition? What is there that comes into a collector's edition that makes you need to have it?
It's got to have something like... something I can display, something physical I can display. So, I've got my JC Denson my Adam Jensen figurine. I've got my Bioshock Big Daddy, which I said once I get some shelves, I'm going to have them on a shelf. I've got a Fallout bobblehead. I like physical things, particularly if they tie in with the lore. So, like the New Vegas collector's edition came with like poker chips for all the different casinos and. if it ties, that's something physical. I like something physical, something free.
Yeah.
I'm not so keen about art books. I could give or take art books, and concept art. So, oh look, it's a picture of something that's in the game anyway. I'm not so keen on art books, but if it's something that I can display in physical and it looks nice, then yeah, I'm really keen on collector's editions.
As far as art books are concerned, not that fussed. But if you give me some frames from the game on like some really nicely printed cards or whatever, like those. But the one thing that will always sell a collector's edition over the standard for me, that doesn't have to be anything big. CD soundtrack. Give me the soundtrack to the game.
Yes.
Don't give me one of these like taster soundtrack CDs. Like so many collector's editions come with these days. Like,
6 tracks.
Yeah,
the game.
it's
It's
like-
got 50 in it.
and you're like, and it's like, oh yeah, if you want the actual soundtrack, it's gonna be another 40 quid.
Yeah.
It's like, no, give me the actual soundtrack on the fucking thing. A lot of the collector's editions I've bought recently, and most of them have been Japanese RPGs, to be fair. I buy them for the soundtracks.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about anything else that comes in the box, the badges, the fucking art books. Give me that damn soundtrack so I can put it in my machine, rip it, put it onto my media player and be gone.
Maps.
Maps are cool.
Maps are very cool. I love a map. Even if I'm never going to use it, I mean, I've got because Skyrim had like 5 different editions, and I've got my map from Skyrim. I'd like to get that framed actually, because I love maps of games. I've got my Stalker's Credit edition, so that came in a little really nice metal box, and I've got all like a map and stuff in there and all sorts. And
Maps are neat.
maps.
My obsession with Final Fantasy XI drove me to end up with a £70 ring that has gone missing over the years. I loved that ring. I used to wear it everywhere. If I really like a series, then I will always wear something from it. So in Final Fantasy XI, I would wear that ring. I had certain pendants from certain games and stuff like that.
There are, I will say, I've now sort of gotten more into looking at game merchandise, like pendants and so forth. But I've yet to have a series that's really sort of quite got me enough to make it worthwhile buying.
Sure.
I mean, if there was a pendant, metal pendant, because the price they charge you for these pendants, that pendant isn't worth anywhere near that much.
Sure.
Peter pendant, 100. I saw one on there. I can't remember what it was for. I think maybe for like Overwatch, so it's like 100 quid.
Yeah, it's a bit.
No. That pendant's worth about 20. Even with the licensing, it's worth about 20 quid.
Sure.
If it's that much, I'd buy it, but 100. It's like, no, I wouldn't buy it. But I would wear, a game pendant or stuff. I would happily do that, but.
Should be for the right price.
For the right price.
A lot of these collector's editions these days, they are really bumping up the price, and game merch really bumping up the price. I remember when a decent game T-shirt had cost you like 20 quid. That's fine. But now when I go onto certain stores, it's like, yeah, it's going to cost you 30 quid for the shirt, and then it's going to cost you another fucking 15 quid to
You
get
need
it
to
shipped.
go on where I bought this shirt from, and this is a free advertising platform, EMP. They've got a lot of game shirts in there, and they're only about 15 quid each.
Cool. I might have to look into that.
Yeah.
Because I think the last shirts I bought was probably this World of Warcraft one, which I got from Jinx. Because Jinx were the official dudes making it. But then after that, like, just shirts and game merch. They are really milking the shit out of game merchandise these days.
I don't buy a lot. Certain things got really grabbed me by me. This last actual piece of merchandise I actually bought recently. It's Game of Thrones merchandise. And I bought it because I like the series. I actually went out. I don't often buy game merchandise, but here I go. Here it is.
Game of Thrones, books or TV show?
Well, I watch TV shows. I've never read the books.
Okay, cool.
So
I've flicked through that first book.
I've heard of the book. I heard books for TV show. I'd heard of them.
They are fucking old.
They often came up on TV on TV tropes. You often see them in the literature examples of Game of because it's Song of Fire and Ice.
Yeah, Song of Ice and Fire, isn't it?
I thought it was Song of Fire.
Whatever, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I have it floating about somewhere.
I didn't treat sure that Game of Thrones was based on those books, and then later on, well, I found out before I watched it, it was based on those books. But for a long time, I didn't realise it was. I thought it was just a series, and then I found out, it's actually based on, and it's based quite faithfully to the books, from what I understand.
Yeah, because George is there.
Yeah, he's quite involved with it. So I mean, there are some things they have changed and they've altered and they've expanded on, but generally it's reasonably faithful. The basic storyline is very close. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So
Quality of a book. You can tell the quality of a book if it comes with a map. If there are certain pages in that book that are a map.
Or it comes with like a glossary at the front with all the terminologies in it and so forth. I like books that are clearly been well researched and the backgrounds are fleshed out. I mean, I've had books, particularly science fiction books, where there'll be like a whole not a science fiction book, but Warhammer 40k, third edition. There was like you had your rules, and then you had like your game scenarios, and then it'd be like all the fluff. And after that, it'd be a load of modelling stuff, and at the very end, there'd be like a little remender, and this is all like sort of random stuff. But basically, what it was it really feels like sort of like because obviously when they release a new version of the game, they have to all the armies obviously need to be updated.
Sure.
But they can't release all the army books straight away. So what they do is they do like a mini version of them. They often use the version and have all the armies and all the stats. And you get them in the back of the book. But at the very end of this Warhammer 3rd edition book, 40k 3rd edition book, was like a load of background material that had nothing really to do, but they just want to put in there. So, for example, they put in there how the Imperium, which they're beefing, how their time system worked, based on the fact that you have to count distance between planets and how relativity.
Sure.
And there's just a whole big one page, like really tiny writing, just how the system worked and how it actually calculated what their dates mean, and just all this random, just world building stuff, and it's lovely. It's like this does not help the game in any way whatsoever. It's got nothing to do with the races.
Something that helps with immersion.
Yeah, exactly, and it really sets the scene, and it really gives you sort of the background for it. And that's the ways I keep all those books with the rule books, because they've got this beautiful fluff in it and the details in it, and it's just you feel it's been put on as an afterthought, but it's absolutely lovely to read through.
So there was someone that was just sat there thinking, you know what, that'd be kind of neat to do today.
Yeah.
I've done what I need to do, so today I'm going to write some really rad stuff about something that most people probably aren't going to care about, but what they don't realise is that is the bit that sweetens the deal.
I mean, I've written sci-fi short stories that I've never published, like, damn, let anyone else read them because I think I'm not a very good writer. But half of it I enjoy is doing the bit before doing the working out how I'm going to make it all work and make sense and stuff. So I like hard sci-fi, which means it's relatively realistic.
Yeah.
With a few sort of caveats, sort of like things like, for example, you can't really do sci-fi very easily without fast and light travel generally, and that we know can't happen. But so you have to let that pass.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
You try and keep.
You can break a few rules.
Yeah, exactly. So
physics can be broken every now and then.
Every now and again.
You don't break physics. You just kind of bend it a bit.
Look, there's two ways to deal with physics. A, you sort of gently bend it on the cross reality, or you just go and don't worry about it anymore. Star Trek goes, physics is a hammer. Bang!
There you go, job done.
Newton's laws for you.
Physics, curve black hole, gone.
Yeah.
There you go.
Physics basically is, let's find the latest terminology being used by the scientists, and that will be everything.
Load it into a shotgun, fire, that's our stuff.
Yeah, basically it's...
We have no idea how it works, but that's it.
Yeah, anything that's currently... I mean, if Star Trek's being made... If Star Trek Next Generation is being made now, the Higgs boson would be the solution to everything. Well, we need to recover the Higgs boson field, or we need to say it's always a solution to everything.
And they have no idea what the fuck that actually has to do with anything.
And you can't do that. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. But it sounds sciencey enough that people get away with it.
Yeah.
So, but I like sci-fi. That's why I like the Expanse that came on a few months ago, where we talked about, which is really hard sci-fi. Really good, but when you put those restrictions, it makes you have to write It makes you have to write harder because you have restrictions you have to work around.
Sure.
So. Yeah.
I'm more of a fantasy reader than sci-fi. I used to read a lot of sci-fi when I was a kid, but
never. There aren't many fantasies that I've gone into. Also, just Game of Thrones, but I feel I quite like that because it's not too heavy on the more fantastical elements of it. It's not too heavy on it. It's got a little bit to it. It's obviously got dragon stuff, but it's not too heavy on it.
Sure.
I like things like Lord of the Rings. I like that sort of stuff. But in general, I've never got into Terry Pratchett very well. I've never really got into his stuff. I love
Pratchett.
Yeah, I've never got into it. And generally, fantasy in general, I've never. I probably don't. I probably wouldn't sit down and read a fantasy book. I just probably wouldn't do it.
Sure. I can't remember the last book I picked up to. I've actually been Ready Player One. It was the last new book I picked up to read, and that's fucking ancient.
Yeah.
I really have to start going through my collections. Joys of Kindle.
Yeah.
Don't buy things off the Kindle store, but the joys of having a Kindle.
I use my tablet, my Android tablet. when
Yeah.
when it doesn't crash.
That's just a point. I need to get a new Android tablet for bits and bobs. Just little.
Oh yeah, 'cause you're like more than 6 months old, so it's had it really.
Actually, surprisingly enough, the tablet that we still use in this house is a Gen 1 Nexus 7. Still works perfectly fine.
I'll always say that, like, it's like, so that Gen 1 was handed down by my father to his father, from his father to my father. It's
Kids are using it.
and that will be handed down to them, my children, their grandchildren. They'll still be using it.
And it'll still fucking work.
Yeah.
And it still fucking works. No two ways.
Till the
about it,
battery
still works.
goes.
That's the weird thing. So many people have it will go. You know it's going to. It has to. This is just the way that batteries are designed. But still, I'm surprised it still works because we've had iPhones die faster than that Android tablet. So that must be like running on you. Must have that one Nexus 7 that's got like unicorn horn powder.
They actually store the actual battery in it.
Like that's it. It's like
All the others have just got big capacitors in them.
mine actual battery, and it's got a unicorn picture on it in crayon.
Because unicorns make everything better.
That's it. Unicorn, and it's got a little troll with a club on the other side. The same.
So I think they're complete games we've been playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just what I'll throw out there, since we were talking about the hard sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
When you said earlier about having to be a hacker in the cupboard,
Yeah.
like the hacker Harry Potter, at least
You're
if I were to
hacker
play
Harry.
the fucking hacker Harry, at least I can type. I don't do the old Hollywood typing of look at my hacker.
Can you imagine the sort of like when they sort of like do their spells, let's say go expellimantirudis castratius or something. It's like format C.
Fucking format C. Whack someone. They just whack
That's a
someone.
death spell.
They whack someone with a fucking mechanical keyboard.
Yeah.
Running magnets over the hard drive.
CD-S/2.
Just randomly thrown out there.
Yeah.
Have you seen Mr. Robot?
Mr. Robot, no.
The 3rd season's coming up soon. It's available on Amazon Prime. Watch it.
Okay.
There you go.
Is it about a robot?
No.
About a man? No. So it's not about a man who's a robot?
No.
Okay.
Just watch it.
Okay. I will consider it.
There you go.
So moving on to other news, and this is a bit of a rant because it's been in the news a bit this week. HBO, maker of Game of Thrones,
Yes.
has been hacked. Got hacked about 3 weeks ago,
I did hear.
and they lost an episode of Game of Thrones. There were some other episodes of some other episodes. Lost some scripts and some other stuff that's not been diagnosed. And the hackers then demanded the ransom, and HBO supposedly paid the hackers off millions, and HBO supposedly offered them $250,000 Bitcoin. Now, I've got two files here. One, TV companies, or any company, for God's sake, start sorting out your security. You can't. Somebody has dropped the ball on this again. You've got these systems in place that are so vulnerable. This isn't something that happens. It happens again and again and again. Nearly every week you see such and such mega company has been hacked.
Yep.
It's like, what are you guys doing? It's not that hard to make. 16-digit passwords are pretty much unhackable at the moment with modern technology. Pretty much random 16-digit passwords.
I rock 20s and I still don't feel secure.
Well, 16-digit passwords in brute force is going to take a long time to hack through. I mean, we're talking years. 32-bit passwords, you're talking longer than probably at the moment with current technology, probably longer than the universe is going to last.
Can I just have a
Yep.
look? If you're setting up a website and you limit your password field to 15 characters or less, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, one of the Reddits I'm on, there's a guy on there who showed this website that had their passwords were set to 8 characters. But it had to be 8 characters. It could be 7, it could be had to be 8.
But 8.
8, because obviously somewhere, well, as someone said, that just proves to you they're storing their password somewhere as plain text. Because the only reason that makes sense. But 8 characters that you can hack, you can brute force 8 characters fairly quickly. I mean, but every time you add that character, it adds an exponential growth to it, which is why 16 is considered at the moment reasonable security level 16. Guys, what the hell? Why are you the stuff that was your lifeblood? you'll secure it somewhere behind. You should be really limiting who has access to that information, really limiting everything, and just do. I'm just getting fed up week in week out and just seeing it's gone past the point of. See, so and so's been hacked. It's like, oh, for crying out loud, just sort it out, guys. Just get it sorted.
Yep.
You're big enough now. How many times do you need to see the warnings? Oh, so and so's been hacked. So and so's been hacked. Sony's been hacked. Microsoft's been hacked. Amazon's been hacked. These are big players. They're getting done. You've got to do something about it. You've got to enforce these policies. You've got to get tough on people. You've got to make sure you do it. And I don't have any sympathy for you because you're letting it happen. I do get angry. I mean, I'm more annoyed. It's more frustration. I don't feel sorry for you. I feel frustrated that you're just not listening. I get angry when it's like someone's user data being nicked.
Yep.
That's when I get angry. Because that is your job is to make sure that's secure. People are trusting you with their username, their emails, their passwords. They're trusting you with that data. And you're not looking after it, and that's why I'm very careful whichever sites I sign up for. Very careful of them,
Sure.
Because it just takes one site. I mean,
I've actually gone out of my way to remove accounts from many websites over the last. I've gone really tinfoil hat over the last few years. I've been thinking to myself, who do I really want to have my information? I mean, none of these people.
Yeah.
Gone, or just stop using them from that point and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I use a password manager, and if you haven't got a password manager, get one. LastPass is free. Okay, I mean, I know Google's its own built-in one, but I would use a third party one. Get one; they're free.
I've used LastPass. I feel concerned using LastPass because it is all stored in the cloud. But because if someone gets access to your LastPass account, fuck.
To be fair, they make it very clear that you need to be very careful over your master password. They really say, seriously, your master password, you must keep that. It's the one password you have got to keep safe.
Yeah.
And you've got, whatever you do. And it's interesting, here's an interesting thing for you, okay? It's now considered one of the safest way. If you're at home, the safest thing to do is write your passwords down. Because you can't hack someone's notebook.
Nope.
If someone breaks in and gets your notebook, that's a different matter. But
you've got more things to be concerned about if someone's in your house.
Exactly. But the thing is, if you're logged into LastPass, they're in there anyway. Yeah. But get a password manager, and you can set, and it will randomly generate 32-bit character passwords if you want. Yep. And randomly put things, and they'll be secure. And it works with most sites. There are some sites that don't properly support it, and I swear at those sites. Yep. The other thing I want to talk about HBO is, why are you paying these hackers? If you pay them, they're gonna do it again, right? What's the worst? The worst thing they're gonna do is what is it? What is the worst thing they're gonna do? Release a TV series episode a bit earlier.
Yep.
Right. So, Netflix had the right idea. Remember Netflix got hacked and they stole episodes of Orange Is the New Black? Netflix basically went, releasing them.
Yeah.
We don't care. And the hacker, some little brat, got really upset with Netflix. Oh, they forced me to do this. They're not paying me ransom money. I want to release it. Netflix well, I want to release it onto a file sharing site. Netflix, they end up on there anyway.
Yeah.
So okay, you release it earlier. The fans of the series, if they're happy to have it, if they're happy to watch it, they'll watch it a bit early. Okay, we've not lost out. They'll watch it the next episodes afterwards anyway.
Sure.
They're still going to buy the merchandise. They're going to watch it early. If they're not, if they don't want it spoiled, they won't watch it.
Sure.
And the people out there going, "Oh,
although it's hard to avoid spoilers in this day and age,
it's harder, but you can still do it. You can still if you're careful. Just
don't go on the internet.
You should avoid the relevant websites. But in general, I mean, spoilers. The more likely thing that's happened with spoilers is being revealed by somebody at work who watched it the day before. That's where I've made very far. The time I've had spoilers ruined for me. It's very rarely ruined. I mean, most. Shall I say, most reputable media companies are pretty good at keeping. I mean, the BBC are quite good about not spoiling things straight away. In general, don't pay a ransom. If you pay a ransom, you just encourage the behaviour.
Yep.
Just if it's the right idea, just say, go ahead, release it. We don't care.
If you're gonna pay hackers, put up bug bounties. Right? Don't pay them after the fact.
Yeah.
Say, come and test our security. Every bug you find. Here's some Wonga. Can I throw this out there, okay? Right. If you are a big company in this day and age, the age of the internet, and even back in the day, right? and I've been guilty of doing this, so I've experienced. Do not post things on the internet that you do not want to be discovered. Do not connect, say, the machine that has all of the Game of Thrones shit on it.
Yeah.
Don't connect that to the internet. What is it doing connected to the internet?
Yeah.
If you have, like, let's say for example you're a big company, right, and you've got, like, I don't know, people's accounts, like finances and shit like that, okay? Do not connect that to the internet, right?
No.
If you need your staff to have access to the internet, you'll have one network where people can access their emails and all that kind of fluff and get work done and talk to people in the outside world. And then all of the important shit, right, is on a completely separate network over here, not connected to the internet. Is that convenient? No. Is it a pain in the ass? Yes. Is it more secure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have, like, bridges within the network, but those bridges are secured by very few connections. Either physical or, these connections between these bridges, there's only like 5 valid users that can go access this bridge, and the passwords are very strictly controlled. And you have got to be strict with people's passwords. I mean, if you're accessing systems that can do a lot of damage, hell, the password needs to be secure. And you need to be. I mean, if it just takes one person. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And if you've got a network that's not very well set up, it just takes one person to have their password set to password, and you've had it. You've got to be strict with people, but
never piss off your systems administrator.
No. I'm going to encrypt all the passwords with 256-bit encryption. And then I'm going to encrypt it again with 1024-bit encryption afterwards. So basically, HBO, don't feed the hackers by paying them. Secure your bloody stuff. You've learned it. And every other media company out there, or any company, especially if you deal with user data, for God's sake, start securing your systems properly. I mean, there are people out there whose job is to make sure your system's secure. There are people out there. You've got 2 types of people out there who make sure your system's secure: security analysts and hackers. One is quite good to have checking your system. One isn't, unless they're finding bugs.
I don't really like the negative spin on hackers, because even a pen tester, even a pen tester is a hacker.
Yeah, that's true.
So just they have a nicer name.
Yeah, that is true. But it's like
let's not go mainstream media on this.
No, but then there's because originally hacker was sort of the nice part of it, and then you use cracker used to be the term you're meant to use for people who do it maliciously. But the hack sort of switched between both means, and there are actually penetration testers. There are legit hackers out there who do things because they are meant to be doing them, they're employed to do them, or they are things. And to be honest, if you are a hacker who wants to test people's systems, make sure you get that permission first, because bloody hell, although you may be doing it for the best of intentions, if you have done it, you've opened yourself up to your own charms.
The laws these days are not friendly for people dicking around with computers these days.
No, they're not.
Even if you're just prattling about for a laugh to see, can I get into XYZ website?
Yeah.
They will throw the book at you.
No.
And it's not if they will catch you.
It's
when. Because they will, if they've got the money and the time, they will catch you.
Yeah. If you're using a VPN, they will eventually get you down.
Yeah, VPNs are not foolproof.
No. VPNs are, in terms of hiding your identity, they work quite well. There was a bug recently found in, I think it was it Chrome or Firefox? They had a bug. They discovered that if a website, because websites can obviously give requests to browsers as well, and they discovered that if they gave requests to the browser responded with its actual IP address, not the VPN's IP address.
That's happened quite a lot.
Yeah. So there are things, and there's nothing stopping them picking you. VPNs don't protect you against malware. They don't protect you against someone picking back on your connection.
Nope.
And getting something in your system in reverse, nothing to protect you against that. So if someone wants to catch you, they'll just leave you a little bit of a honeypot. And that's how they find a lot of these people. They leave them honeypots and they'll go in, oh, I don't know you've been at, and now we know where you actually are.
Yep.
Because they have caught for... Talking about the hackers game, they've caught 4 people who suspected of being involved with it in India. So...
But suspected, come on. You either know or you don't.
Yeah, but legal things, you can't say that, can you?
Well...
You know, you've got to be a bit careful.
I'd never dare go to America these days.
No, well, you saw the British security expert got arrested, yeah. The man who stopped the big attack, WannaCry attack, and he's been arrested for supposedly creating some malware.
Yeah.
And the thing is...
Can I just throw out there, creating malware is not illegal.
No. And the thing is, he may have created it, but... You know, if he did it when he was, you know, people will do all sorts of stupid things when they're young.
Oh, hell yeah, I've done tons of stuff.
Yeah,
It's been immortalised by the internet.
Yeah, so, I mean, he made it when he was young, but he's now working for the good guys. Okay, yes, what he did was illegal. But if he just helped make the software and someone else, I mean, are we really going to get into this world now where if you make a piece of software and then someone uses it for a bad thing?
If I go out there and buy a gun, let's say I go out and buy a SIG and I go and shoot someone, are you going to go and do SIG for making the gun?
Well, by the logic that the Americans that the US are applying to this guy's and his purpose, yes, you should go after the manufacturer of the gun because they made it. But if you said that, that would not wash in an American court, would it? No. So you can't go after this guy for the same reason. You can't punish him for something he may have involved making. But as you say, where does it end? When does a piece of software become malware? If someone makes a bit of software that isn't very well secured, and then that allows loads of people to access it, like through a backdoor getting some systems, is that person now breaking the law? Can that person now be done for making their software secure enough? Is this the route we're going to go down?
I'd also like to throw out there that embarrassing someone is not illegal.
No.
You know, if someone has hacked into your system and they've embarrassed your sysops, that's not illegal.
No.
Like embarrassing a country, for example, America. It's not illegal. As much as you want it to be, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
For some little fucking kid to make out you're a bunch of shit, to say that your security is crap.
I think generally, when someone gets hacked, my first thought isn't what a nasty bunch of hackers hacked into that company. It's why wouldn't you secure? Why haven't you done... When I'm doing more to secure my PC at home than you are, and you're responsible for, let's take Amazon as an example. If Amazon gets hacked, you're responsible for lots. You've got my credit card details stored on your server. Okay, you are... I'm trusting you with this. So you've got to give that trust back, but making sure you're bloody taking my security seriously. And the people who have access to that system, bloody hell, there should be lots of sandboxing going on in your systems. And people can only access certain things. You should be really careful what information gets passed around. So,
shamefully, security is an afterthought.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is.
So hey, I've cobbled this together and it works. Cool.
Yeah,
put that on.
It should be I think it's now something that people are starting to get fined for it, and I think that's what you need. You need to start fining codes. If you get hacked, you get fined.
Yep.
Just like anything else. It's the only. Especially if
don't blame the hacker, blame the sysop.
Yeah.
Blame the person in charge, because
I mean, if they got in through like a software glitch that was not known about at the time, that's a different matter. If someone broke in through an unsecured, perhaps someone discovers a new flaw in Apache web server, which they do occasionally find, and they break in through that one. Okay, that's fair enough. You weren't to know about that. You did everything right. But if you've literally not properly secured your passwords, or
if someone gets in literally just
software,
but you see that not updating your software, American government's guilty of that one.
Yeah. Mostly, also more mainstream software out there auto updates. You don't need to do anything; it does it all itself. Why aren't you auto updating? Why aren't you installing the latest version? Why is it that when these security apps go, they ping websites for software flaws, they find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or thousands of unfortunately major sites are still running outdated software. it's literally a download. It's literally, you know, your sysops just to download your quick patch. It doesn't take a lot of effort, and in fact, that's what you're paying them to do. You're paying to make sure your software's up to date. So, I mean, I just get so.
What was it Lowry said? Hacking isn't about having any particular level of skill. It's just literally finding flaws in old code. And he said eventually you'll find something.
Yeah.
You know, it just takes time. It's patience. Hacking is more a game of patience than it is about any real level of skill.
There's numerous. I mean, it's one of the channels that I watch and you watch, Computer File. There's a guy on there who shown so many exploits that exist. He's shown MySQL injection.
So that's the younger chap, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one who does the photography and 3D modeling through.
Yeah. A lot of them do sort of. He's shown loads of exploits on how to. He's shown how to crack passwords. He literally shows you from step one how to crack a password.
Yep.
And with software, and he literally used the database. He just downloaded the database from his own college and cracked their passwords.
Yeah.
There and then.
Because he pulled down the what was the website, the database they used, the password database from LinkedIn?
I don't think it was that one, but it's some.
There was a really big old, big password dictionary that he had. My God.
Yeah.
Big. I mean, I've had some pretty big password dictionaries. But
this
I would imagine, this was something that made the things that I have look like just like a child's book.
This properly, and he literally ran it for a few minutes. And he was hacking. He was getting pings for hundreds of. He got so many passwords back in a few minutes.
I mean, because now you can get something like you can get password. You can get dictionaries now of like 30 some odd gigs. Thereabouts. I think the biggest I've ever had is about 9 gigs.
Yeah. But
if you've got a decent machine,
yeah,
just run through those.
But yeah, keep your software up to date. Just oh god. Anyway, I'm gonna start.
I know. I still follow the idea that and I say this from experience because I've been hacked and I've done stupid things that are still online. Be careful what you post online. Be careful what you do online. And if you're running an important setup, sandbox that air gap that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like air gap, even air gap and stuff isn't completely safe, but
it's all about mitigating the risk, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, sandboxing works pretty darn well. You have a network sandbox, it's a pretty safe thing to do.
And I'd like to just, if someone gets in, I know it's unauthorized access, that's one thing, right? If they don't destroy any data and if they're not stealing anything, right? Don't go and give them 99 years in prison or threaten them with years and years and years in prison. America needs to learn that someone accessing your computer from the outside and looking about a bit doesn't cause you millions and millions and millions in damage.
No,
it just doesn't.
No,
so let it go.
Yeah, fix their own security.
Yeah.
Fix your own security. That's all that matters. Yeah.
How long do you think it'll go before we get the next news of a hack?
Next week, I reckon. It's every week. Literally, I've got on my BBC News app, I've got the cybersecurity section tab open, and literally every week I'll go on there and there'll be some other website that's been hacked, or some other device that's been found to running, something and some unsecured bit of software like Flash, for example.
Yeah.
It's like, oh really?
I'll throw out there that it is a terrifying thought to run a server in this day and age.
Yeah.
I spun up a VPS a while back, and I'll tell you, that was terrifying. Just the idea of opening up ports on my router I find terrifying these days. And years and years and years ago, back before I met you, used to run servers no problem, no fear. These days I think to myself, shit, I better get this thing locked down hard. Otherwise I am screwed.
I wouldn't want a server on my main computer. I'd have a separate computer for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Well, you'd want a completely separate network from your home now.
Ideally, yeah.
You want a completely separate connection. You'd want it completely isolated from your own home network, and that's it's just a terrifying thought.
Yeah,
it really is terrifying. I mean, I opened up a BBS on a Raspberry Pi, and the sheer number of connections that were coming from all over the world
Yeah.
to an IP address to an address to a site that I'd never advertised. They were just being scraped over and over and over again. Was kind of terrifying. So I'm thinking to myself, they're trying to get in. They're not just looking to see that it's here. They're trying to get in.
Yeah.
So if there's even the slightest problem with my setup, we are screwed.
Yeah.
Just takes time.
Yep.
I've got a server up right now. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I should probably actually pull that down and lock it down tight.
Yeah.
And all it's doing is serving 2 pages, 2 HTML documents. But still, I'm thinking to myself, ooh.
Have you got the latest version of Apache on there?
Don't.
Yeah. So. Right, so that's my little rant over thing. So I think that's us pretty much done for the evening for us. Anything else from yourself?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
We have Dog.
And
Hello,
Dr.
Dog.
Pepper.
And Dr. Pepper. Hello,
Extra
Dog.
Dr. Pepper, because I've got a bottle of Dr. Pepper and a can of Dr. Pepper.
Dog, careful with the capooters.
Crazy dog.
There's a dog. So, I've been the TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
Very much watching. We look forward to seeing you on episode 71 in a fortnight's time. And look, there's a dog.
And look, there's a Dr. Pepper.
Hey.
It's amazing.
So, until then, see you later.
Yeah.